Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Simon Jordan, we've just seen Anthony Joshua weigh in. Quite a spicy face-off between him and Robert Helenius. Are you a little bit surprised there?
No, I think he's in business mode. I think that there's a lot on the line, and he knows a lot's expected of him. So I think he's in fight mode, and with that comes an edge. And I like to see that. I like to see Anthony Joshua take that spikiness into the first bell.
The Anthony Joshua that a lot of boxing fans bought into the tenure of, the first sort of 5 years as a world champion, it was this hard-hitting beast. We almost need to see that again against Robert Helenius now, you believe?
Well, we want to see it. I mean, Anthony Joshua wants to win fights, and because of the burden of expectation upon him, he has to win them in a certain way. But a win is a win. Look, I think he's got to knock this guy out for himself, not for the audience, for himself psychologically. Because nothing wrong with Anthony Joshua physically, never has been. The issue is what's going on between the ears. If what's going on between the ears is he's prepared to put himself in range again and let his hands go, then we'll see Anthony Joshua in his pomp again. And if he were to lose fights, he'll lose them the right way. He won't lose this fight, he'll win this fight. And of course, he's on degrees of loss, as an irony, because if he knocks him out in the first round, everyone will say he should. If he knocks him out in the 8th round, everyone will say, oh, here we go again, Joshua's keeping out of range until it's easy. So I think it's a difficult one for him, but I like to see him with that attitude, with that sense of menace, so that people can feel the foreboding, because that's what they're in the business of.
When Robert Helenius was brought in as an opponent, there was 5 days or so before the fight it was signed. What did you make of it, given given sort of how much time they had?
Well, look, I'm a very well rehearsed observer on people like Matchroom, but I think it's very difficult for them. Who could they have brought in? Whoever they brought in, someone would have had some criticism on it. I mean, I made an observation the other day about Martin Bacoli, not because Ben Shalom is someone I like, it's because Spencer Oliver mentioned it to me. I never let information get in the way of facts, Eddie. But the point is this, is that it's a fight. Helenius has had a fight last week, like he said himself, I got a spar. To me, that was a version of a sparring session. Do I expect him to trouble Anthony? Only if Anthony allows him to. If Anthony allows him to, then he'll cause him bother. But I don't think about it either way. I was signed on for the Dillian Whyte fight. I was coming to see, I'll see you later. I was coming to see the Dillian Whyte Anthony Joshua fight. I'm not coming to this fight tomorrow because I'm not motivated by it, because it doesn't enthuse me. That doesn't mean I won't sit at home and watch it on DAZN.
It's kicked off a little bit again between you and Eddie today, but with that being said, whenever I speak to him, the respect is there between the two of you. I think you obviously both know that you're powerhouses within the industry. What happened today? And do you respect Eddie?
I respect a lot of what he does. I don't respect some of the things he does. I think as the leading promoter, which he would have you believe that he is, he needs to be held to the highest standards. And when you say things that aren't accurate or aren't representative, and you don't answer questions and you make it about the colour of someone's hair or how much money they lost in another sport or whether they're a disc jockey or whatever else Eddie wants people to listen to rather than focus on the question. Eddie, are you saying Conor Benn's been cleared? Because you told me a minute ago you believed in strict liability. If you believe in strict liability, you can't say he's been cleared. I want Conor Benn cleared. I want him to be absolutely unequivocally cleared. And I want Eddie to operate at the highest standards. I don't respect somebody who plays the man, who tells stories about other people's money and whether their hair was blonde or whether they met them in Marbella. And I don't respect people that don't know me, like Frank Smith, making observations. But I do respect the acumen of Matchroom. I do respect their position in a fight game. That's why I hold them to a high standard. And what Eddie's very good at, because that's his game, is redirecting. He's not kryptonite to me. He's just a very good promoter in his space. And that I respect.
Just moving forward, we know that you've made your comments on Fury and Ngannou. Frank Warren's came out and said it's going to smash all box office records.
So what?
Whether we... Okay.
So what? I mean, I've made my observations very clear to Frank insofar as they're relevant. He did a podcast with me that I do this week, done it about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I said to him, this is not the fight that I think the WBC heavyweight champion of the world should be in. They disagree because they believe, and they're right to do so, that boxing is a business, this is a money fight. Then let's have that right. Let's just call it a money fight. Let's call it what it is. But let's get back to the business of mainstream boxing, having the lineal champion of the world fighting another boxer.
Simon, thank you for your time. I want to wish you well in good health. You're looking tremendous today.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you.